Good afternoon, everybody. It's lovely to see some people wide awake, but I know we're getting towards the end of the day, but I've got something really important to discuss with us all. I've really enjoyed today. I've met some fantastic people. I've really enjoyed that panel, and it really resonated with me that ultra-high net worths, when they're ill, they're even more vulnerable and even more lonely and even more isolated. And I think I've got some of my team here, and I think we see this all day, every day, that people really need our help. So I just want to say thank you for everybody at Spears. I think you've done a really fantastic job today. Health is of the utmost importance. As the American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson famously said, health is wealth. Being healthy is certainly one of 4 types of wealth, and globally mobile, ultra-high net worth individuals quite often sacrifice their health for their careers and their travel schedules. They're busy people. You've got financial health, which is an obvious one, social health, time, and arguably, most importantly, your health. I'm going to tell you a story. It's a true story about a patient who he won't mind me talking about this. He tells the story to the press the whole time. I won't say who it is, but he's a very well-known businessman. He had a medical emergency that required some very quick thinking, some very effective triaging and efficient communication and collaborative efforts between multiple healthcare professionals located in different countries and with medical notes in different languages. It all started, we're a 24/7 service, and it all started, I think I got a phone call at about 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning last August, in the middle of where everybody's on holiday and all the doctors were away, playing on their yachts and doing everything they're doing as well. And this gentleman rang from his yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean. Now, this was a patient who was known to us. We knew he'd recently had surgery, but it could have been a cardiac issue, it could have been a gastric issue. We just didn't really know what it was going to be. And it immediately looked actually quite life-threatening. But he was 5 hours away from the nearest tertiary centre. Anyway, we managed to mobilise our team of staff here, and within a couple of hours they'd retrieved his medical notes from 4 different places where he'd had surgery, as I say, literally all over the world. We'd managed to get all his images, and we'd managed to find one of our consultants who actually was on holiday in Athens, who managed to find an accepting clinician, and he turned his yacht around. Within 5 hours he was in hospital and admitted very quickly. He was so impressed by this service, he actually called one of our team the Lara Croft of medicine. I've dined out on that, because I love that. But I think the point here really is it doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you haven't got access to brilliant healthcare, and we are extremely lucky, I travel a lot in different parts of the world, and we do have good healthcare, but if you haven't got access to healthcare, it can really endanger your life. And in fact, this gentleman, had we not acted so quickly, it could have been a very different outcome. So I'm delighted to say he made a full recovery. But that's just one example of the sort of people that we deal with in this group of ultra-high net worths. I'm just going to go over to my... Donna, could you help me? I can't seem to work there. Ah, okay, thank you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Hea Healthcare UK. You probably do know all about our hospitals, but you may not recognise the name Hea. So, and you've probably been to some of our hospitals. They include the Portland, the London Bridge Hospital, LOC, the Wellington Hospital, Harley Street Clinic, the Lister Hospital. We've got 6 hospitals in London, 2 hospitals in Manchester, and we're opening a brand new hospital in Birmingham early next year, which is really exciting. So we are becoming more national. We're a very well-known, well-trusted American private healthcare company, and throughout London, we've certainly got the most intensive care beds, and we're really capable of looking after some very complex patients, which we did for the NHS during the pandemic, and which in fact I think really made us realise our capabilities even more. We're extremely lucky in London to have access to over 3,000 consultants. With our 10 teaching hospitals that are spread out all around London, we have got some extraordinary people and some extraordinary specialists that we have access to. And HCA is extremely committed to keeping up with technology and has invested a lot of money in the last few years into new clinics. I'm very delighted to announce, actually, we're just about to open one in Canary Wharf, if anybody wants to come. But that's happening next year. I won't invite Nick to that one. Could I just go on to the next one, Donna, please? So these are the hospitals I was just talking about. Again, you can just see they're spread mostly across London, and we're looking forward to the Harborne Hospital opening next year. Next one, please, Donna. So I work for HEA, and before I've been a clinician most of my life, and I actually left clinical work to set up a medical concierge company out of HEA as a startup business. It was extremely challenging in those days to actually pull this off, but I learned an awful lot from doing it. And the pandemic, I think, has really helped us understand what people need, and I think people really care about their health more now than ever before. So I came back into HEA, and because we have got so many hospitals, so many clinics, so many clinicians, it is very difficult to navigate that route. And as a panel previously were talking about before, actually knowledge is power. And in this world, not unless you're in it, not many people really know how to navigate it. And that's really what we opened the centre for. We're 24/7, we're award-winning, we've had 2 big awards which we're immensely proud of, and we're a clinically led service. We're all, importantly as well, we are the only medical concierge service to have CQC, which is the Care Quality Committee rating. Nobody else has got that, and it means that every decision we make has to be clinically accounted for, and patient safety is probably the most important thing in every single thing we do. So we've got 4 main services, and we work across HEA, but the first service we set up is our rapid response referral service, which is mostly international patients. So I'll give you an example of, so for instance, somebody may be on a ski slope, they may have broken their leg, they don't actually want to have their surgery in Grenoble Hospital, they'd actually like to come home and be near their relatives or their newborn baby, or we had a case like that fairly recently. And we have the capability to transfer some really, really poorly patients, ICU to ICU patients from almost anywhere in the world. And in fact, since the pandemic, we've moved patients from about 60 different countries. So these are either repatriations or medivacs. We work very closely with the US Embassy, for instance, and a lot of other embassies. So diplomats, often in remote areas. We get a lot of work from the diplomatic community, actually. And from patients who have got international private medical insurance or would like to self-pay, and they want to come and have their treatment in London. And London is certainly really growing quickly on the health tourism side of things. I think we were a little bit behind some other countries such as Singapore, Germany, etc. But I think we're really catching up now, and people are really recognising London as a place to come for elective and emergency surgery. So the rapid response referral, and I've got so many stories about some of the things that we've done and some of the cases we've dealt with, and it's been a learning experience for all of us, but we have had some incredible experiences with this service. We then noticed that actually we were getting a lot of phone calls from people elsewhere in the country, either in another private facility or in an NHS hospital. And as you all know, in the UK, if you have an accident or you have a heart attack, they'll call you an ambulance and you will be taken to your nearest NHS hospital. Now, a lot of the ultra-high net worths do not want to sit in A&E. In fact, they don't want to go anywhere near A&E at the moment. They would like to have immediate access to the best possible people. And we are finding ourselves getting busier and busier transferring patients out of hospitals that may not have, for instance, some of the provincial private hospitals in remote areas may not have intensive care facilities. It's things like that. So we are moving patients out of some facilities into an HCA facility. And we always ensure that it's in the patient's best interest, and we always ensure that the patient gets the right facility and the right clinician, and we can pull absolutely everything together for them. We have 24/7 ambulances, and we can transfer them safely into our facility. The next service we deal with is our Acute Admissions unit. We have 4 acute admission units across London, and we'll have one in Birmingham next year. And this is for a clinical person, so either a GP or a consultant, to refer a patient in. So they have to have been seen by a doctor, and then we can send an ambulance and pick them up either from home or from a surgery. So they're patients that need admitting. It's not a full-blown emergency, but they need admitting maybe for something like abdominal pain. And we again ensure that they get to the best hospital for them and the most convenient. There's patient choice in this as well. And get them seen as quickly as we possibly can. And sometimes these admissions can be within an hour, so there's no waiting around. And then our 4th service is our corporate and VIP service, which probably is the one that you're most interested in today. Obviously, this group of people have access to these services above, and they're really interested. They find them very, very safe and reassuring to know that they've got these things behind them. But it happened a little bit accidentally, actually. It was a New York bank that contacted us to say that all their corporates, all their corporate executives in New York had access to a medical concierge centre. Could we do the same sort of thing? So we really built this around them, and they've been delighted. We literally deal for absolutely everything for them. If they want a GP appointment, if they want to do their screening, if they want to go to urgent care, if there's a problem with their child in the middle of the night, we really do help them through and look after the whole family, actually. It's a very bespoke, handheld service, and we're opening that up as the year goes across to particularly family offices have shown a lot of interest in this. Some of the smaller banks, it's not going to be a huge corporate offering because we are really looking after these people to a very high level, and it's probably the first time really in this country that we've married both the hospitality sector and really high-end clinical facilities as well. Could you go on to the next one, please, Donna? So this is just going back to the international transfers to date. So these are the countries that we have managed to do bed-to-bed transfers from. So we've had patients from Myanmar, that was after a riot there. We've rescued a pregnant lady from Croatia after the earthquake there. We've rescued a man from a rhinoceros farm in Tanzania. We never know what's coming through the door. It's certainly never boring, and we are always delighted when a patient arrives safely in one of our facilities and we can hand them over. Next one, please, Donna. So just to tell you a little bit about the membership, as I say, this is a new thing for us. We've realised that there are special groups of people who, as somebody earlier said, they want their uniqueness recognised, and we felt that we didn't always do this, and we needed to do this a little bit better. So everybody keeps on saying to me, how much does this cost? There isn't one price. This is a very bespoke offering, and it depends on what you would like in that package. So, for instance, some people would want absolutely everything, including 24/7 GP, and we have some of our colleagues here today who will go and see from London Global Practice, who will go and see somebody at a hotel or in their home or wherever they'd like to be. So it's from that sort of level to access to urgent care. Our urgent care units are really busy at the moment. They want us to do all their appointments for them. They have their own personalised special nurse who basically looks after them and their family or a small group of people. And this is where we really feel that healthcare is going. It is getting, the standards are becoming higher and higher, and it's not just the clinical excellence that people want, they want the hospitality wrapped in with that as well, and that is a trend that I think will continue as time goes on. And as I say, other countries, you know, at the some of their hospitals don't even look like hospitals, but they're still treating very, very sick patients. So that's really what I've got to say about what we're doing. And I do think every ultra-high net worth should consider taking membership out, because it gives you reassurance, peace of mind. You know that wherever you are, we can manage to get you healthcare, link you in with healthcare, bring you back, whatever it may be. And that is something that I think has become a very valuable thing. I'm very happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. There's quite a few of the team here, so do grab us, and if you want to ask anything, and we have also got an email address if anybody wants to write in for any quotes or to discuss anything further. So over to you. Any questions? Well, I must have done a good job there. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Annabelle, for a great talk. Thank you so much.